Hey everyone, I'm Courtney. I'm the program coordinator for Affirming Texas Family Services. So, we wanted to put together a little video to discuss some tips on budgeting and how to deal with financial stress. So, we know that financial stress can be really overwhelming, but it can actually affect you physically and mentally. Studies have shown that it can cause problems such as migraines and sleep issues, and that people that are in debt actually have a higher chance of having mental health issues such as depression and anxiety. It even affects families and marriages. Actually, the second leading cause of divorce in the US currently is financial problems. So, how can you get control over your finances? Well, obviously, you need a budget, but before you can set a budget, you have to know where your money's going. So this can be done with a multitude of ways. There's free apps you can download onto your smartphone and link to your bank. One of them is called Mint. You can get your banking statement and literally just go through and see where your money is going, see what your expenses are. So once you know where your money's going, you have to create a budget. Now, your budget needs to be reasonable. And when I say reasonable, it has to be something that is feasible for your income. So you can't make a budget that exceeds your income because that won't make any sense and you won't get anywhere. And it has to be something that you can stick to, because if it's something that is so strict you can't stick to it, you're going to get frustrated and decide you'll splurge and out goes the budget. So another thing you have to be able to do when you start sticking to a budget is be content with where you're at. We get so caught up in hanging out with the Joneses, so to speak, that we forget we don't make the same amount as the Joneses, and that's what gets us in trouble. Is we're trying to keep up and we end up further in debt or not paying things that we should have paid. So with that in mind, when you're setting your budget, you need to prioritize needs over wants. Separate, things that you may want, but that's not something you have to pay for. Your monthly water bill is a need. You have to pay for that. Now, your Netflix subscription, that's a want, even if we really want to watch our shows. Even, it may go down to your clothes. If you've got, a pair of sandals you've had your eye on and they're really cute, that's not a need. That's a want. So, but if your work clothes all have holes in them, then that's definitely a need. So, budget for that, because you need to make sure that your needs are taken care of before your wants, even if that's not how we want to do it. Another thing that people often forget about is budget for extras. We want to make room in your budget for those little things that pop up, or that you forget. If your kid gets invited to a birthday party, you don't want to have to tell them no. Have a miscellaneous section on your budget, and that can help out with that kind of thing so that you don't always have this extra expense that you weren't expecting. Now, I will say, when you are having a miscellaneous thing on your budget, stick to it. And that can get kind of gray. It's hard to stick to it. But if you say, my miscellaneous that I can afford for this month past my other bills is $100, and that's it. You have to cut it off, and that can be difficult, but that's the only way your budget is going to work, is to be very committed to sticking to it no matter what. Now, a lot of people follow the Dave Ramsey budgets, and one good thing about that is they tell you to stick to the 4 walls when you're setting your budget. And this can help you on figuring out how to do your budget. So the 4 things you're going to take care of before anything else, if you're sticking to this, is food. It's the groceries, obviously. Shelter, so that's, your rent, your mortgage, whatever. Your utilities, your taxes if you own your home. Your transportation, so that's, your car payment, your insurance. And then clothing, so, that's if your work clothes or, whatever, because that's something, when you need it, you have to have it. So make sure that when you're setting that, that's a good baseline for your budget to tell you how to start working your budget. And then you can say, well, this fits under my need versus my want category, so it needs to go here. Another really great thing that can help you, and it's not so much a budgeting as much as a spending habit, is use cash. Do not take your card when you go to the store. When you use cash, you save on average 15 to 20% at a store. That's insane. but we spend differently. Studies have proven we spend differently when we have cash. You're watching that cash dwindle when you spend it. It's not as easy as just swiping that debit card. So, in regards to shopping, make a list before you go and stick to it. That can be really hard, but if you will stick to it, you will spend less. And it'll also help if you'll meal plan. When you're getting ready to go to the store, decide what meals you're going to make for the week and shop for those meals. That will help you prevent the urge to splurge, so to speak, with, getting fast food or going to a restaurant. The great thing about once you start budgeting is it leads to having money left over because you're budgeting to have that left over. And you can start to pay down debt. One of the great things, it's another Dave Ramsey trick, is using the debt snowball method. You pay off things with the smallest first, and then as that's paid off, you start going to the next one, and it snowballs until you're paying off your big debts. So there are so many ways you can do a budget. You can do it just, the old school way at home on notebook paper. There's apps now you can download on your phone that you plug in all your bills and due dates and everything. Or there's even budget samples you can print off online. I'm going to put some of those in the comment section for this video. But there is no doubt that with doing a budget, it will improve how you are able to control your finances and how you feel overall with finances. It makes you feel more secure, and you're less likely to have those moments with, how am I going to take care of this? And I wasn't expecting this, because you know what's coming. I mean, there's obviously some bills you can't take care of before, but part of your budget is going to be building a savings so that, if you have a tire blowout, you can take care of that and it's not detrimental to your entire financial status. So if y'all have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section and we'll be glad to answer them. Thank y'all for watching.